We still got 3 minutes, so if you're just joining us, cool. We're gonna get going at 9 o'clock. I just wanted to get it started early, making things run smooth. These things make me nervous, not doing them, but making sure everything goes right. So just 3 minutes and such, and we'll be rocking and rolling. 'Again, just if you're just joining us, we are waiting. I wanted to get on a little bit early, make sure everything was going okay. We got about 2 minutes, and we'll get going. I'm going to try this phone call app here. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but if it does, great. If not, we'll just chat, and I'll let you guys know what YouTube has to offer here. To support the channel. One minute. T-minus 1 minute. All information in this program is known to be accurate at the time of recording. Any commentary by the host is for discussion purposes only. Anyone labeled a person of interest by the host or family has not been charged with a crime. All suspects charged with crimes related or unrelated to a case covered are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Opinions and views expressed by the host do not represent views of the families or sponsors of this program. Being a voice for the voiceless is not just a slogan, it's a mission. We are not just covering the stories of the missing and murdered, we stay with them, support them, stand with them. We do so as long as it takes to get to the truth. From Grim Media and the Grim Truth Podcast, this is Behind the Truth Case Updates. Hello! Welcome everyone, Steve Stone here, host of the Grim Truth Podcast. This is something I call Behind the Truth. This is kind of like a peek behind the curtain, if you will, where we do case updates. We kind of talk about things that maybe we didn't talk about a whole lot in the podcasts. Hello Terry, hello RJ, good to see you guys. So Behind the Truth is going to be something that I'll do live, and I would like to do live more. And then sometimes I'll just throw a video out there. But I want to connect with you guys because you guys are the one that watch the content, that really care. And again, like I've been saying since I started doing this, I want to build a community. And that's important. If you haven't done so already and you really, really want to help the channel, you got to do one thing. Subscribe to the Grim Truth Podcast YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode of the Grim Truth Podcast, Behind the Truth, or any other content related to the missing and the murder, because you never know. One person, it just takes one person to actually bring help to a victim of a homicide or bring a missing person home, as we are the voice for the voiceless, as I say, and it's not just a slogan. So I'm glad everybody tuned in. We want to talk about the cases in Arkansas. And I have to say that when I started, my very first case in Arkansas was Andrew DeWeese. And that was a case that really put my heart and soul in. Those of you that are familiar with that case, and hello, Kristen, how are you? Those of you that are familiar with the case, know that case was going. That case was nowhere. He was gone. Everybody, there were rumors, there was innuendos, there was this and that, but there was no solid, concrete path forward to doing anything to get him found. My eyes opened up to how Arkansas does things, or for lack of a better term, doesn't do things. Now, there's a YouTuber out there. I'm not going to say this person's name. Resides in Arkansas. I'm sure some of you know who this person is. They believe that everything is a conspiracy and that everything is corrupt and it's a fix. Now, the blinders are off of my eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Is there corruption in Arkansas? Yes, I believe that. Is there a organized crime problem in Arkansas? 1,000%. You've got the NAE, you've got war, you've got other small-time drug dealers trafficking the devil's drug, methamphetamine, which runs rampant in Arkansas. And if you have had issues with methamphetamine or on methamphetamine, I urge you to get help. It's doable. You have to want to do it, and I'll pray for all of you. We don't judge here. You know that by now. We don't judge here. But that's a problem. The other problem is law enforcement not giving a shit about the missing and the murder in Arkansas. Andrew DeWeese's case was just one of those. And as we talk about Andrew's case real quick, it's going to be the first case we talked about because it was the first case I did, and it was the first case that really opened my eyes, and I was like, what the hell is going on in Arkansas? What are they doing? I will stop and read your comments. Misty, yes, Arkansas. Arkansas is like the Bermuda Triangle, but on land. Because people are allowed to go missing. People are allowed to commit murder. People are allowed, law enforcement is allowed to go unchecked by not investigating these crimes. And at what point are we going to say enough is enough? And that's where you come in. And we're gonna talk about that in a second. But back with Andrew's case. As promised, I'm going to discuss a certain individual who I have not brought up yet. I may have shown this person's face before, but I want to bring it up. Andrew's case is kind of stalled. It kind of hurt me. Somebody close to Andrew's family said that they feel like they've gone, that we're nowhere now. And I don't think that's true. I get it. Things have kind of stalled. I totally get it. But from where we were last year, this time last year, well, when I started that case was April of last year was when I started. That's when that case came to me. From this time until now, man, there's been movement made. We know a lot more than we did. But today we're going to know even more. Now, we all know the stories. We know Nicole, and I didn't put her name on here because honestly, I'm sick of talking about her. I'm sick of seeing her face. She's no good. She doesn't care about anybody but herself, if she cares about herself. Hello, Tisha. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. So I'm not putting her. I don't want to see her face. And Andrew's still not here. He's still not found. No one's been arrested. People have been talked to. And the last I heard, there were search warrants. We were awaiting search warrants. Well, this man I'm about to show you, you might know him, you might not. Leave a comment, let me know. But here he is. This is Jaden. Jaden, if you're watching, hi, Jaden. This man right here, man, this person, he has a history, he has a past, and according to sources, had has knowledge or has something to do with Andrew's case. Now, what I'm going to let you know automatically right off the bat is that Jaden was supposedly, according to sources, and if he would like to discuss this with me, he's more than welcome to do so on the record. But this person not only was around Andrew DeWeese while he was missing, but he also helped, according to several sources and several eyewitnesses, was a part of the tragic ending of Andrew DeWeese's life and subsequent cover-up of Andrew DeWeese's death. Now, why am I waiting to put this out, you ask? And my answer is simply this. I can't give up everything I have because, honestly, and I've learned, I don't know who to trust in Arkansas. I don't know who to trust. Hello, Angela. Hello, Carrie. How are y'all doing? Thanks for tuning in. I don't know who to trust. And so I have to keep things to myself. I have to keep things that I don't want, out right away, close to the vest. I'm saying this now because I think we need to start stirring the shit. I think that we need to stir the pot. If you're basically giving wind to a storm, and if the storm is stalled, then you give it a little push. So we're giving it a little push today. Autumn, thank you for tuning in. Eugenia, hello. Carrie, so I'm going to read some of these comments real quick. Please bear with me. Autumn, don't trust law enforcement. Now, in Arkansas, I am not a cop basher. I'm not anti-cop. If you know my background, you'll know why. Hi, Mary. How are you? I'm not a cop basher. Okay. However, I will hold law enforcement accountable for not doing their job, for not doing the job that they swore to do, for not giving a shit about the people that we're talking about today, the people that lived on the wrong side of the tracks, maybe have gotten in trouble with the law, maybe had an addiction problem. They're still people, aren't they? Don't they matter? The question to all that is absolutely. And just because you live in Pope County, Arkansas, or Johnson County, Arkansas, that doesn't mean that you're subhuman. Now, the people that commit these heinous acts and are allowed to get away with it, they are subhuman. They're the animals. And I'm not, and again, I want to be perfectly clear. I'm not saying anybody, if you guys know what's going on in Arkansas, you have a total right to say how you feel. And obviously, law enforcement in Arkansas doesn't do their job. They're lazy. They don't give a shit. And I welcome your comments. So yes, Autumn says I'm not a cop basher, but I feel in Pope County there are seriously lacking. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Trust me. In Andrew's case, nobody gave a shit. Now, the state police in Andrew's case, the gentleman that I've talked with, hi Misty, the state police there, he decided this gentleman said, I want to take a look at what you have. And I was stoked because we didn't have anybody taking a look at anything. We just had people making videos, taking trips. We need to find baby Drew this, baby Drew that. Nobody gave a shit except for a small group of people that got together, got me involved, worked with me, allowed me the time to do what I needed to do. And do we know everything? No. Should we give up hope that nothing's ever going to come of it? No. Hope is your armor. Hope is what's going to get you up in the morning. Hope is going to get you to keep fighting. And when you can't keep fighting, ladies and gentlemen, You give it to God and you give it to somebody else. Give it to your friends. Give it to me. And we'll carry the torch for a while. Because that's what needs to be done. Let me stop and read some of these comments. Lots of people in Johnson County missing. Yes. I will announce. I'm going to make an announcement. I am doing an expose into Johnson County because of the stuff I've come up with during my investigation into Ashton Blake Campbell. I'll get into that later. Eugenia, the police in Arkansas used some of the meth dealers to get it from them. They tell them when yes, don't I know this? April Williams, prime example. We'll get into that later. But so as I wrap up on on Andrew, and if you have any questions, you want to talk about this, we can. But so if anybody knows this guy here, Jaden, he knew what happened to Andrew, and the story is and again, he's more than welcome to help out with the investigation and come clean with what he knows, because I know he knows something. And if he doesn't want to end up on the Hall of Shame, he should relieve himself of any guilt on his conscience that may weigh heavily on his heart. Maybe he can find Jesus Christ as his personal Savior. Maybe he can get clean and find righteousness. I don't know. Whatever it takes. But he needs to tell the truth. And that's it. One of the big problems in Franklin County is the connection to federal witness and informants. Hey, Heather Parker. Billy Harris said again, one of the big problems in Franklin County is the connection to federal witnesses and informants. That's a big deal. And you know what? You have a governor in Asa Hutchinson. You have the Attorney General's office, who I have sent several emails to this week about several cases. And at the end of the day, we have to come together. And that's one of the things I'm going to ask you guys to do as a group. You guys, I forgot to shut my phone off. You guys, as a group, as a well-oiled machine, need to come together and create a collective. Okay? And I don't know who has to spearhead this. I'll be more than happy to volunteer myself. But we need to get the DeWeese clan together, and the Eric Lane clan together, and the Ashton Blake Campbell clan together, and Thomas's family together, and Savanah Elliott's family together, and bring about the loudest voice in the effing room, and don't give up. Because, folks, if you create a big army and a large group of people, they got no choice but to listen. You got to be a part of it. There has to be some activism here. Tommy, stop. There is power. Everything I see and hear is nothing less than disturbing. 1,000%. Heather, there is power in numbers. Yes, and that's what I'm trying together. I am going to work, and folks, and I'll say this before we get into Eric Lane. Eric Lane's case I'm going to talk about next. The one thing, I'm one person, and I have 32 cases sitting pending, and a lot of them are in Arkansas. But I try to get to them. I have 2 great volunteers that are very, very helpful. I met a wonderful woman in Texas who's been very helpful in a couple of cases, and we're working as fast as we can. Be patient, and I am going to stand by you as long as it takes. I'm here for you, but we also need to group together as a unit, all of you guys, all of us, and start not only putting effort into your each individual cases, but every one of your cases. Let's read some of the Barbara Gilmer. I emailed the Attorney General once about Johnson County, and I got told to take it to the sheriff. Yeah, well, again, when you get more numbers, when you get a power in numbers, then that's going to start You ever heard that old adage, shit rolls downhill? So does snow, rolls downhill. Well, eventually it's going to be so big that not only are they going to have to look at it, they're going to have to smell it, and then they're going to try to run from it, and it's going to swallow them up. And guess what? They're going to have to deal with it. Hello, Jolene. Thank you for tuning in. Terry, even those of us outside of Arkansas can make a difference. Yes, everyone can make a difference. And that's why, again, we need to band together and do things. Let's talk about Eric Lane. Eric Lane was murdered by Sebastian Golden. There's no doubt in my mind that happened. And when we... the sad part about Sebastian is he's still killing people. He's in the streets, still running and gunning, killing people. Now, I have a petition on change.org that you can find on the Grim Truth Podcast Facebook page. And we are working to get the petition to 1,000 signatures, and we're going to take that and all of our evidence, and we are going to get that to the Attorney General's office. We can't let the current administration in that county, in that municipality, to investigate it, because obviously there's something going on there. Sebastian's out on the street, and he's still shooting people. I read a couple of statements he made just about a week or two ago. He ain't using his fists no more. He's coming and he's gunning. We can't let that stand. So I need everybody to, if you haven't done so already, I need you guys to go to change.org, look up Justice for Eric Lane, or go to the Grim Truth Podcast Facebook page. It's in the pinned comment section in the media part. If you can't find it, let me know. I'll send you the link, and let's get this petition going. We got to get him justice. Now, I am working with another lady who is supposedly she's working very hard to get me a written petition that I can send to the family, and they can start walking that around. All we need is 1,000 signatures to get this thing moving, and it's very important. And you know, when some asshole was online yesterday disparaging folks, you know, oh, this is typical tweaker behavior and all this other horse shit. And I asked him, you know, listen, I'm not a snowflake, folks. I can take the heat, I can dish it, no problem. But when you narrow somebody down to being a tweaker, so tweakers deserve to die? I don't understand that. So I, of course, told the man my 2 cents. I got blocked, of course, and they took down the post. I didn't get blocked. I got called a snowflake, whatever. But when are we? Eric Lane was Eric Lane. Eric Lane he knew who he was. The great thing about these people that are victims, they're the ones that they're people, man. They're people. They're not ashamed. But because, again, people judge them and think them less people, or they're just the dregs, they don't matter. Let's read some of the comments real quick as we keep going here. Heather, hello. She says, signed and shared. Thank you very much. And Terry said that she signed the petition and shared with people across southern Missouri. And I appreciate, I really do. And as much as we can do to help get this thing shared, it's important, because at the end of the day, the only way our voices are going to get heard is if we do these things, and we become the vessels of change by actually doing something and not talking about it. And that's the difference between me and other folk that'll sit in their bedroom with a camera on them and talk about cases and make assumptions of other people, judge people make innuendo, and they say that crap. And how's that help people? It doesn't. It doesn't help people at all. Hello, Nikki. Thanks for coming and joining in. Cindy, hello. Carrie, Joshua Hilliard. I'm really happy everybody. I mean, this is more than I thought would come in today, and I'm glad you guys did. Thank you very much. But finally, so as we're trying to give as much time to each individual of these cases, Sebastian needs to get off the streets. Eric Lane needs justice. If you can help us with that, sign that petition, share that petition. Let's get to 1,000 signatures on that petition, and then let's shove that case right back up law enforcement's rear end and get them to investigate it. Sebastian needs to go to jail because he can't stop shooting people. He's obviously a threat to society, and we've got so many shootings all around the country, and this we're not going to. That's not this argument, not the platform for that, but he is obviously a dangerous individual, and he's still shooting people, and he needs to go off the street. Thomas Carroll Hines. This man is endangered, has dementia, disappeared, gone. The gentleman that you see on the opposite side of the flyer here is Eric Lamb. Eric Lamb made some pretty interesting comments about wanting to take Thomas and do bad things to him. Now, we don't know if that's the case, if Eric did hurt Thomas, and that's why he's no longer around and we can't find him. The cops totally dropped the ball on this. There was no and of course we can't really necessarily 1,000% put blame on them. We have to put blame on Linda, if I believe that's her name. And Jojo, I don't even want to. I hope that's not. Oh boy. Anyway, it's JoJo. Hey, JoJo. Yes, I know. I get my stories wrong. Glad you could join us. Welcome to a real podcast. So anyway, the problem with Thomas is his case wasn't reported fast enough. He has dementia. He's gone. Thomas Carroll Hines' son heard the threat. We spoke at length about it, and he's gone. Once again, now here's the thing about Thomas Hines' case is they could have done a silver alert right off the bat, and the upsetting thing about it is when I asked the detective, I said, "Hey, sir, what about putting a silver alert out?" And when I spoke with him at the time, he said, "Oh, we never thought about that. We'll look into it." But then a week later, told his family that, it just wouldn't do any good anyway. What the hell is that? It still gets his face seen. When people pass by on the interstate, they'll see his name and go, "Oh, well, we'll keep an eye out for that guy." But no, it's if you say it's too late, then you've already given up and you want to take your marbles and go home. Well, then maybe you should retire. And you wasn't blocked or even kicked out of the group. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're gonna move on. At any rate, the cops gave up and they didn't do their job. And to say that they didn't want to put out a silver alert for Thomas is just one of those things I've talked about many, many times, that they've stopped doing their job and they've given up and go home. They don't care. And that's where we need to come together and make sure that they come together and do their job. And if we work together to do that, then, there's hope. And again, like I've told everybody, that that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, it was dumb. Because, again, That would be like a family spending money. There are families that have saved money. They'll put a billboard up, If it's not too late for a family to put a freaking billboard up, it's not too late for you to get off your ass and put a silver roll out for an endangered man with dementia who meets all the criteria for a silver alert in the state of Arkansas. So, I don't understand. Ashton Blake Campbell. This case, as gut-wrenching as it is, we have two people that are right smack dab in the middle of this. April, Dylan, and they have a part to play in Ashton's in his death. And I've learned so much about this, and I'm going to break some news here today. Somebody close to April heard April say, and I quote, and I'll make sure that you guys see me when I say this, that, quote, they weren't supposed to kill him. He wasn't supposed to die. Now, I got that information late last night. I'm getting the emails that were sent to law enforcement, and those are going to be sent to the Attorney General's office, and I think that right there will give us enough to hopefully get the case reopened. Also, viewer discretion is advised on this thing. If you're a little bit squeamish, please look away. I want to show you something. I have to show you this because it's disgusting and appalling. When law enforcement was working Ashton's case, there was evidence. Now, if you watched the podcast, you saw a bandana he was wearing that had blood on it. There were a lot of other things on there as well that weren't tested. There was nothing forensically done with the thing. Heather Escalante says, what about Dylan saying when he was murdered? It is yes. If you paid attention, he said when he was murdered. Well, how would he know he was murdered? He was in Oklahoma, remember? There's that. And so, again, viewer discretion is advised. I want to show you this. Again, if you're squeamish, turn away. Folks, these are towels. Towels, by the way, that came from April Williams' house. Towels that April Williams said were stolen by Christopher Mounts. But they came from her house, and they have blood on them. That's blood on those towels, folks. That's blood on the towels from a kid who drowned in Lake Ludwig, according to law enforcement. According to the medical examiner, he drowned. He did not drown. Drowning victims don't bleed all over towels and handkerchiefs. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Ashton's case has the, and this is the one thing that they don't teach. Of course, there's no handbook in this. And if you've been around families or you've talked to families long enough, and there's no playbook on how to do this. There's no, let me get my missing persons playbook out, or let me get my murdered son's playbook out and see how I handle this. You're not expected to know what the hell to do. You're expected that the people that are supposed to do this job are supposed to help you get justice. And that doesn't happen. That's not happening in Arkansas. It didn't happen in Ashton's case. It's not happening in Eric Lane's case. Hasn't happened in Andrew DeWeese's case. It's not happening in Thomas Carroll Hines' case. It's not freaking happening. Blood on towels doesn't equal drowning, folks. Those towels were found, by the way, I'm answering Melissa's question. Those towels were found away from Ashton's body, but they were found in the same area where his jacket and his bandana were, just so you're aware. It was all there. All of it. was sent to the detectives. Nobody tested it for shit. No DNA, no blood. I mean, we live in a world where there's trace evidence now. But it wasn't done. It wasn't done. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. I want to, as I wind down, I want to talk about this young lady. This is Savanah Elliott. Savanah Elliott, like her Arkansas brothers, is not getting justice. She was found in a nature preserve, dead. And like so many others, her cases got no attention, swept underneath the rug, and nothing is being done. We have preliminarily started looking into Savanah's case, and we've spoken with her mom, and we are working on it diligently. And we're asking for your help. Hold on one second. My mother was murdered in Joco in... I'm reading Autumn Hall. My mother was murdered in Joco, 2010. No justice ever served. Everybody knows who did it, and nothing. I pray for anybody going through it because it is the worst thing that could ever happen. Autumn, if you haven't reached out to me, message me. I would like to. I'd like to help you if I can. Tommy, do you think those cuts on his body were fasciolate fish feeding? No. Those cuts on him, because the cuts on Ashton, there were initials cut on him. The word success was cut in on him. There was an M or a W cut in on him. So yeah, I don't think they were fish. They weren't fish. And then now the cops said they were rocks. That was the other thing. Or rocks and thorns. Like, so if he ran in thorn bushes, and if you've heard the term remodeling, when your flesh starts to heal, when we heal from a cut or a wound or whatever, it looked like those cuts had started to heal before he passed. So, because there was other stuff, he had a broken nose, for Christ's sake. So, I mean, there were things on him that were not indicative of a doggone drowning. So it's bullshit. Back to Savanah real quick. Again, we're working this. We're in the preliminary stages of this. But we need your help. And what I'm asking all of you to do right now, if anybody has any information on this case regarding Savanah Elliott, please email me, stevestone@thegrimtruth.com. stevestone@thegrimtruth.com. You can also call me on our office line, 321-343-4976. I'm going to put it in the comments here so you guys can see it. 321-343-4976. You can reach me there Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If I'm not there, leave a message, and I'll get back to you. Trying to be more accessible to victims and families of victims that need help. And I thought that was a pretty cool way. My personal phone obviously gets bombarded, and we get people that like to make phone calls and jokes and pranks or hack my Facebook like was done this morning. But as I wrap again, so if you have any information on Savanah Elliott, if you have any information on Eric Lane, Andrew DeWeese, Thomas Carroll Hines, Ashton Blake Campbell, call me. Numbers out there in the comment section, 321-343-4976. I didn't do the call thing like I wanted to because I just don't think it's going to work. I think the speakers will pick up the person calling and it won't transmit out. I'm going to do a test run on that, and hopefully the next time we do this, we can able to have people call in. Heather says you don't drown and not have water in your lungs. That's drowning 101, you know. So as we wrap this up, I want to say again, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't done so, subscribe to the Grim Shoot Podcast YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss any episodes of the Grim Shoot Podcast or anything related to the missing and the murdered, and episodes like Behind the Truth where we talk about stuff like this. Justice for Eric Lane. Justice for Ashton Blake Campbell. Bring home Andrew DeWeese. Bring home Thomas Carroll Hines. And the many, many other cases that we have all over the United States that's working. Arkansas just needs prayer, folks. It needs prayer. It needs a shake-up. Probably needs a new governor. Things need to change, and the only way we're gonna do it, folks, is we got to come together. If you're interested in volunteering and becoming a voice for Arkansas, and help bring these families together, call me at the number, email me. Let's work something out. Let's bring these families together. I'd like to do a forum with these families. That way they can start their own group and start powering up and getting justice for their victims and bringing their missing and loved ones home. I want to thank you guys so very much. I'm humbled that we had the turnout that we did. Again, it's all about coming together as a group and making sure that we are a voice for the voiceless in search of the truth. And the only thing that's going to make that happen is you guys and your help. Thank you so very much. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, there are the missing out there right now. There are missing fathers out there. There are sons, daughters that are missing their dads this weekend. Say a little prayer for them as we enjoy time with our family, as we wrap this up. Thank you so very much for tuning in to Behind the Truth. I'm Steve Stone. God bless. Again, thank you so very much, and I'll see you next week.